Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sarah and I work with the Living Archives Project, where we are collecting stories of how COVID-19 impacted various communities in Mecklenburg County. Today is October 11th, 2022, and there are 175 cases of COVID in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, which is a 29% decrease over the last 2 weeks. Therefore, for the comfort of each subject, we are not wearing masks today. Will you introduce yourself?
I'm Leslie Hunter of Revamp.
Awesome. We're so thankful that you're here with us, Leslie, and appreciate your time and your willingness to share your story with us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So, Leslie, are you a Charlotte native or did you move to Charlotte?
Yeah, so I was born in Michigan, and we moved to Charlotte when I was about 8.
Okay.
And I left when I was 12, and I came back a few years ago.
Okay. Where from Michigan were you born?
Saginaw, Michigan.
Awesome. I'm from Michigan.
For real?
Yeah.
What city?
Right outside of Detroit, Farmington Hills. I don't know if you know it.
I know Farmington Hills.
Yeah, that's funny.
I got family in Detroit right now.
Okay, look at us. We're both Michiganders talking in North Carolina.
Come on now.
So that's awesome. So did you enjoy the warm weather of the South when you moved? Not so much.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, it was cool because you're always outside, but as a grown man,
No?
I don't like being hot.
Really?
I don't like the beach.
Okay. So you've been here since you've been 8, right? You said?
Yep, we moved down when I was 8.
So you've been here for quite a bit.
Yeah, I left when I was 12. I got expelled, so I had to live with my real mom.
Okay.
Then I came back when I was 17. Oh, no. I came back when I was 22.
Okay.
In like 2018, so yeah, I've been back for like 5 years. But yeah, I was here before the big boom, before all the big population boom, so.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the changes that you've experienced here.
For starters, it was not this many people. City still looks the same. I lived on the east side, Farm Pond first. Then we moved on the west side, like Rosa Ferris, Tuckasegee. So the only thing that was really different was just the amount of people. Yeah, a lot of transplants. And me being gone for so long, I feel like I'm one, so.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm definitely one of them, so.
Which.
But, it's been quite a unique experience getting to connect with people all over the city and getting to hear. I've been meeting a lot more Charlotte natives than I thought I would. Yeah. So it's been cool. So tell me, can you describe a little bit about your experience? You said you came back in 2018, and then around end of 2019, beginning of 2020 is kind of when COVID hit Charlotte. Right. Tell me a little bit about your experience. What was that like for you?
COVID, man. That's hit in March, and I remember I was working at Alexander Youth, working with kids.
Okay.
And we were essential then because they lived there on campus and go to school, so you would have to be there every day. Mm-hmm. No one can really call off, and while everyone else was getting off of work and things like that, we still had to go in, which didn't bother me none, but it was just a cool time, I guess, not aside from all the bull, but just, looking back in retrospect, man, that was history we went through that was never before seen. Yeah. So just getting the news like, yo, we all gotta stay inside, then the blowing up of social media, everyone doing TikToks and all of us looking at the same things online, then you got the protests going on, and we're all watching that, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, which got me into the revamp work.
Yeah.
I went down to Breonna's house and gave a hand-drawn portrait to her mother in Louisville. She's from Michigan, so that's why I really connected to that.
Yeah.
But Tamika Mallory, she started the Women's March in 2017. She started the Breonna Taylor campaign and really blew that up. Mm-hmm. And now she's like the biggest activist in the world. But got inspired from that, flew back to Charlotte, said, what can we do for the city? Sat on my couch at 4 a.m., emailed about 49 different city council, police, just asking for any programs that help kids in the hood.
Yeah.
So that Breonna Taylor situation would happen to them. And a lot of them hit back, called me right at like 10 a.m. So a few hours later, because at that time no one wanted to talk to police or the county or the government. So they were looking for anybody to really, especially someone young, that had influence.
Yeah.
And man, I think the next week we had like 3 different meetings, and we were out there with Tent City and solid waste cleaning up, and things started going from there.
Yeah. Tell me about that. I mean, so who did you don't have to say names if you don't want to, but who did you connect with, and what was that like? What did you learn anything?
LeBron Evans is probably, he was the first one when I sent out the emails, a few didn't respond, but most of them told me, yeah, he has the best program in the city. You want to talk to him. A lot of the officers referred me to him. City council as well. But we chopped it up on the phone for like 30 minutes. He ran a great program that Reach takes about 25 boys, 25 girls each summer, underserved, and grew up in the same hoods I grew up in Charlotte, and just exposed them to different things: horseback riding, rope climbing. We'll go to UNCC campus, see if you like college, horseback riding, just different things that they don't usually see. And I know as a kid that helped me be exposed, like skateboarding, anime, rock and roll. Would have never really got that if I wasn't exposed to it, and I wouldn't be receptive to other people from that culture if I wasn't exposed to it. So they have a really great program, the best in the city, I think, for exposure for underserved kids. So chopped it up with him. He set up a meeting. Malcolm Graham came. A lot of different officers from different divisions. We just chopped it up on what could we do to build. And this was before even the name Revamp even came. So they said, hey, Reach is starting this summer. You want to come shadow? And so I'd come up every single day. I didn't even have a car. I was riding the bus, Ubering, whatever. My girl dropped me off. But it was important to see what my tax dollars were doing. And just the thing with the police community engagement division, which I didn't even know we had one because most cities don't. They're like 50, 40, and they tell me, these kids don't want to listen to me. They want to listen from someone that looks like them, that talks like them. So we kind of need you guys to come volunteer and help. And that's the thing that gets me. A lot of us, oh, fuck police, or hate this and that. What are you doing, though? Are you going to these events? Are you helping a kid? Are you chopping it up with them once a week at least? So I don't really care to hear anybody saying, oh, we shouldn't talk to police, or people that talk the most don't really do shit, so I don't really care to hear that.
Yeah, and it was really important for you to step up and to kind of get to connect with these youth and connect with these kids and make a difference. Because like the police said, even in me, when I'm working with people collecting stories, sometimes it can be hard. The barrier of being a white woman. I am a white woman, and I realize that. And there are a lot of barriers. And so it is incredible to see when incredible people like you step up, and not just step up, but just getting out and talking to people and making a difference. That's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that really inspires me, Leslie. Thank you for your commitment. So tell me, how many youth did you work with, and what kind of, you did horseback riding and taking them to experience different things. What did you see was the impact on them?
Man, this is a little kid, fuzzy haired kid, Gage. A lot of the kids in Reach, I wouldn't say a lot of them, but the boys that I work with, loud, rambunctious, a lot of you go on their Instagram, they want to be the toughest and roughest, buffest. And some of their programs, they're actually working with them to get them off of cases, like some of those Reach divisions. Some of those kids are on papers, probation.
Okay.
So they go through that, and then that's a diversion. They don't have to go to jail.
Yeah.
So that's another group in there. But the ones I usually deal with are the younger ones, kind of more goofy. Oh, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
But Gage, some kid told him, man, I'll shoot you. or you ain't from the hood or something like that. You don't got a gun or something. But he was like, bro, I live in the suburbs. I get straight A's. I don't care about none of that. He was like the youngest dude. And I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that. But really just whatever hobby that they're interested in, listening to them and giving them a platform to speak about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them don't have that platform at home.
Yeah.
There was a soccer kid I used to coach. Real quiet, but very great. And I used to be that kid. Not quiet, but didn't have that person to invest in me.
Mm.
So I was adamant on making sure he would start every game, making sure he would just digging and building with him. Mm-hmm. Just to give him that confidence. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nothing said, but I could see it because I've been through it. And at the end of the season, his mother gave me a card and it had me and him photo on one side and what that meant to him written on the other side.
Yeah.
So it was mutually understood.
Yeah.
And his confidence grew. Like he was taking shots he would have never took in the beginning of the season, things like that. So really, I said that to say with the Reach, just listening to them. Mm. Whatever they want to talk about, I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
Good or bad, I ain't going to say, hey, don't. It's not time for that yet.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Yeah. That's such wise words. Just listen.
Yep.
Man, we should apply that more to our lives, huh?
I should.
I know I should too.
I should.
So this work that you were doing with Reach, was it during the pandemic or was it after?
During.
Okay.
I was doing the revamp and the Reach at the same time.
Okay.
So Saturdays we would go clean Tent City every Saturday and help house, get IDs, bus tickets, anything for homeless during that. And I would do Reach throughout the week.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about Revamp. That's the one where you went to Tent City and cleaned. What was that like?
Revamp was amazing. It started out of one of those emails that I sent. One of them was Councilwoman Renee Johnson.
Okay.
While we were doing meetings, me and my girlfriend Kayla at the time, she was also in Revamp, one of the first members. There were two other kids, I wouldn't even say kids, two other guys in UNCC doing a UNCC peaceful protest.
Okay.
So she emailed me one night, she was like, hey, I think you might like these two guys, yada yada. We hopped on the text chat that night, Revamp was born after a phone call, like 30 minutes. But just started saying, hey, they were saying, yeah, we went down to the Tent City and we started passing out food and they were just getting their different pain points and just seeing how they lived. And me and my girl, a week before, was just driving past and like, man, I want to get some food out of something. Mm. But luckily, Councilwoman connected us. And we started building on different projects. I think a week or so later, we went out there, whole team and everything. I sent you some photos.
Okay.
And, it was beautiful. Just helping process, helping clean up. That was when solid waste would come. Like, we'd call them, hey, can you bring the truck? They'd come and we would throw things out, like any trash that the residents that lived there wanted out or any bags or things like that. Dilapidated tents. There was a lot of maggots, rats, mice. Like, I'd be cleaning. It would be nothing for like 1 million ants to be on my hands or boots or things like that. So, yeah, it wasn't as bad. The rats wasn't as bad. It was mainly like... just a lot of nastiness, man, and the ants and bugs. But the more we cleaned it, the better it got.
Yeah.
So,
if I remember correctly, someone shared with me that they actually had to clean up Tent City because it got so rat infested at one point. Mm. Is that what you encountered as well? Like
definitely saw some rats.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big of an issue. The main thing was just the bulk of, it was an individual staying in Tent City where 80% of Tent City were their belongings.
Okay.
And so it was just, move a lot of that stuff, mold and the tracks, that type of stuff. So it wasn't the whole Tent City, it was just those person's belongings would attract it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to any of those living in Tent City at the time?
Yeah, that's we would do interviews with people. That was like the best content that was posted,
Okay.
or the most engagement that we got on posts.
Yeah.
Interviewing, letting them tell their stories instead of us.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm focusing on with the team now. Like, let's just get out the way. We don't need to do anything but them tell their story. They know what they need the most rather than us thinking, because that's what we did when we first went out. Yeah, let's get the food, let's get this, and the clothes, and that. And guy just told me, man, I just need some water. Like, and like the food part, they get food every 10 minutes. So we don't want food. That's the first thing everyone thinks, and that's the thing that they don't want because they get it so much.
Yeah.
Bro, I just want some socks. So it's very important to, hey, what do you, Latrell, need? Not, hey, homeless, this is what you need. Or donating clothes. That's why I don't take clothes anymore from people. I'd rather give them a gift card so they can shop in peace, and it's new, because when you're down, you're already feeling like shit. So why would I? Oh yeah, I wouldn't even wear this. This feels great to donate to them. I did a good deed. No, that's not cool. Because I've been homeless. You know, I've lived in many shelters. I wasn't with my real parents until I was 12, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can connect through your own lived experience.
Yeah, and when we donate, often we can hurt more than we help when we're not being intentional by asking them. Because, like, damn, man, like, I just only missed 2 paychecks. Like, I'm not really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Something I had to learn.
Something we all need to learn. You're giving us a lot of nuggets here, Leslie. Lots of nuggets.
I appreciate it. I try to.
So how long did you do that work for?
Still doing Revamp,
Still doing
but as far as the active executive director role, I stopped last July when I went to UNCC. I got accepted. And
Congratulations.
It. Started that August last year.
Okay. And what are you studying?
Pre-law.
Pre-law.
Taking some coding classes too, but pre-law mainly.
So I'm assuming you want to be a lawyer?
Yep, criminal.
Okay, criminal lawyer.
Yeah, might do entertainment law when I get older too.
Okay.
Once I get done with entertainment.
What kind of inspired you to go down that path?
Working with inmates from Revamp.
Okay.
So I forget how, I think it was CMPD. They held a backpack drive. The chief and the sheriff was there. They're like, Leslie, I want you to meet, yada yada. Met him. Oh yeah, hit me whenever. Emailed the sheriff and talked to the chief before that. Love him, Chief Jennings, great dude. His assistant, I don't know if Chicory is still with him, but Chicory is great too. But McFadden and Dorian Johnson, he's the adult program director over the men. Hey, I just want to come chop it up with the sheriff, you know, see his feelings on, because at the time he was dealing with protests outside the jail and people throwing like cut off pig heads at the jail and harassing his staff and stuff. And, that's just what it was in the air in America, protests, police versus citizens. So just tapping in, we sat down for about an hour. And after he gave me a tour of his office, he gave me cotton from the bowl under his desk. He keeps a bowl from the home that his family has back in South Carolina, I think it is, but it's a slave field. So it's cotton he brings every time he leaves and comes back and put it in there. Just a reminder of it. Very upstanding dude. He has pictures of like the lineage of his men.
Wow.
Like grand.
Yeah.
All in suits. That's why he always wears a suit.
Wow.
Like, you need to get a suit. But that started me working with the inmates. We did like a monthly session, but then COVID spread, so we only could do like video chats and mail and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they inspired me. Hey, can you help me with my case? And no, I can't. And I was tired of reaching out to different law groups, pro bono. No one really cares to help like that. Especially when you got $10,000, $20,000 on the table. I understand that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just took the test. Said, hey, that'd be a great tool in my pocket once I get older. If I want to become a detective or law, you know.
Yeah, it's a great tool to have. Out of your work with that, what was a story or an experience that kind of resonated deeply with you?
So many. I just think of Anthony Wise, the first inmate to write me. Really cool, the sheriff as well. Me, the sheriff in Charlotte Area Fund, when he first got out, picked him up. It was like 11 o'clock. Nah, I was already at work. It was past midnight. I had to be around there. No, I was going to work, so it was 11 something. Called me, he got out. Drove him home to my house, put him in my bed. I went to work, I came back. Then we spent the whole day, ID, birth, social, figuring out the spot for the home, any clothes, toiletries, things like that, job prospects, which the sheriff in Charlotte Area Fund handled, thank God. But man, I think about that. I think about Pruthu, my partner, helping house a family of 12 that were homeless, being evicted. I think about the best compliment and my accomplishment, I feel. During the Tent City evacuation, me and Mike, who was on the team, we helped a lady who was living in Tent City and was moving to one of those hotels, one of the two that the county had. And spent the whole day with her. Got all her stuff out, the storage, her tent. Said her and her daughter needed food, clothes. The people at the hotel weren't doing much for her. So she said, man, she hit us up. We went out there, took her to Walmart, got everything she needed. And saw her about 8 months later, a few months later. Walking out of Walmart. Me, I'm just walking out of Walmart. When you look at you, man, you and Mike saved my life. Me and my daughters, I can't even explain. And a couple months ago, top of the year, you ever heard of Hypebeast?
Never heard of that.
It's like Fortune 500 media company.
Okay.
Pop culture music, their space. But I was in an interview and they asked me what my biggest accomplishment was. And at the time, I didn't think about that, but I said that award right there, the Police Community Relations Award. But when I thought about it, what's more important than a life? Because not one person, I mean, you cut off somebody in traffic and having a bad day, they could liable to do anything, and that affects so many other people. So one person always affects 1,000. So not only did you save those 2 lives, you're affecting thousands of other lives. So that's probably my biggest accomplishment, being told that I saved a life.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So those are the stories that stick out, just some of them.
Yeah. Oh, those are incredible stories, meaningful stories.
Thank you.
And like you said, life-changing stories that impact and have a ripple effect for generations.
Right.
And that's amazing because, like you said, you didn't just change the mom's life or the daughter's life, but the children that are going to come from them and the people they encounter.
Exactly.
And the stories, stories are powerful and meaningful. They inspire us. And so that's beautiful. Amazing. You did mention a little bit about the protests. Can you tell me about that? Were you involved in the protests? What was that like?
I went to one protest. It was NAACP. This is around June. Yeah, and this was right around the same time that Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd was going around. So And then for Tamika and Until Freedom, their group, I created graphic designs for their protests in New York. So just supporting other protests in the nation as well, and also attending ours. But as far as that, I didn't really do any more protesting because I'm along the lines of, okay, we already know what the issue is. I'm not really trying to keep in the street about it. What are we doing to solve it? That's my more thing on the protest. Definitely needed. Both sides are needed, but I like the action rather than the noise. And it's good noise. It's like what is his name? John, forget his name. He just passed away too. Good Trouble was his quote.
Okay.
Good Trouble. So yeah.
So what does that look like for you? Like, how do you define change, and what will that be? What do you hope that will be? What do you dream that will be?
Man, everyone doing their part. You know, before, like the first photographer I ever worked with, I was like 21 or something. I'm 26 now, but I had so many ideas. I want to do this. He's like, focus on your own backyard first. And so, in the Bible, they say, how can God trust you with the church if you can't even take care of your own home? So take care of your home first. Be the leader of your own home. A lot of men want to be leaders of the block or the streets or the Instagram. You're not even a leader of your own home first. Like, you can't even drink the juice out the carton. Like, be a leader of you, then be a leader of men. So my focus and my change is definitely internal now. It's let's talk. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I don't have the energy. I do have the energy. I don't want to try to convince someone. I'd rather show that through my actions and just listen more now about other people's perspectives, because I don't got it all. I can't have all the answers. I take the fun away. You know, so definitely being more interested in others now. Ryan Holiday, Ego is the Enemy. Be the canvas people can paint on. That's my job now. Is to always love giving people different positions.
Yeah.
Always love to just support. Not have to support me.
Yeah.
And don't forget that love. One of the things that I didn't talk about that I'm very happy I got to do, all of my criminal cases were in Michigan. 17 through 22, I was in the system. First 5 years, I ran away from high school. Then I found out I had a case. So straight out of high school, up until my adulthood, I was dealing with that. Probation is worse than being in jail. Because you're walking on eggshells. You're out, but you're not really out. Because, if you lose this job, you're going to be, if you don't pay this fine.
Yeah.
Or if you used to make us wake up 5 a.m., they give you a random code, a color, yellow. But you got to call every morning to see if yellow is, they won't tell you it is, but just a random drop, so you have to go and pee and make sure you're not doing drugs. But 5 a.m., maybe you'll get yellow called once in 3 months, maybe once in, or twice in a day. Doesn't know. But just little things like that, different tactics that really breaks you mentally. Worse than jail for me. But have you heard of Reform Alliance?
Sounds familiar.
Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Rick Rubin. Well, not Rick Rubin. Why did I say Rick Rubin? Michael Rubin. Their group. They interviewed me end of 2020. And I didn't know at the time they were trying to get probation and parole laws laxed in Michigan.
Okay.
And so they just wanted me to tell my story, how probation and parole affected me and just how it affected me.
Yeah.
And told them, I ain't heard nothing back for about like a month or so. I just see the laws got passed. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is dope. Like, just being able to take part in that. I don't know how much my story affected, if any, but being able to do that for my home state and knowing how bad probation and parole was for me, and it won't be for how many other people going forward.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Like, I've done it. But that's cool.
To experience that your story had an impact. That's powerful.
Like, that is beyond me. And Jay-Z's my favorite rapper too, so it's like, oh man, that's love. I'm on the right track.
Yeah. And not only through your own experience did you get to have your voice heard, but you've taken what you've learned and you get to have others share their voices and have their voices heard. And that's incredible. You know, that is really the purpose of this project too, is we want to see people, to hear people and have their voices heard and have their stories told, and that's beautiful. So in terms of your personal life, you mentioned to me that you are into music.
Yes, ma'am.
So please tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I sing and do guitar, so mainly like R&B, indie folk.
Okay.
Started out rapping, like writing raps as a kid. I would skip school to battle rap motherfuckers like online and shit. And then one day in Harlem, I was in the studio and I just rapped for them. They're like, yo, these people that like work with great musicians.
Yeah.
Yo, this shit inspires me to want to rap. And I'm not a sharer of my music.
Yeah.
Just because that's like my baby and the one thing I care about the most. And yeah, more people like it more than me. So I was like, yeah, let me invest more time in it. I always loved music. So many musical tattoos, musical family. So yeah, I'm actually working on a project now.
Awesome.
Yep.
Like an album?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully one day we'll get to hear it.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap it up. It's called Child's Play.
Child's Play. Okay, cool. You mentioned also that you have a small business.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
The LLC for my music.
Okay.
So independent. I'm going the independent route.
Okay.
And it actually got approved in a day.
Stop it.
Yeah, turnaround was like a day. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then the nonprofit revamp. Me and my partners run that. So, yeah, learning taxes, learning credit, business credit, leveraging that. Real estate. Different codes for that. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure, EYL, for becoming the staple in that space, financial education, and being the best to do that right now.
Yeah.
It's helping a lot of entrepreneurs, helping a lot of individuals that just want to learn stocks and have generational wealth for the family, and breaking it down in digestible ways, and I have not seen anyone do it better.
Awesome.
It's very helpful.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
Please do.
So, with Revamp, you talked about how you're capturing stories from various people. What did you see was the impact of that work? Like, has there been a response on social media, or what was that experience like for you?
Man, telling people or hearing people say, man, you're inspiring me to want to do this, or, oh yeah, we need to adopt this practice, and then they adopt it and you see it and it's, oh man, this is, or like the city adopting some of aspects of our projects, or talking to city council, or talking to community relations in the city, and they're, man, y'all putting us out of business, man. Like, just having elders in very high roles in the city respect what we do and implement what we do. 2 years ago, I didn't see solid waste men as much as they are now going out with trash sticks and just cleaning along the side of the roads in different neighborhoods and things like that. But we pressed the broken windows theory and drilled that, and the effect effects of cleanliness in overgrown, high crime areas. And just seeing that being adopted now, just looking for a safer, cleaner, no homeless, no crime city, and it can be done. The studies are there. Singapore, Rockford, Illinois, ended homelessness with more people, less money. So yeah, it can be done. We just all have to care.
Yeah.
So just seeing me make people care more, including LeBron, my man has told me, restored my faith in community work. And, getting CMPD, the police, to work with kids. I don't see any other city really doing that. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't,
Me either.
but I haven't. And so this is really cool. It's history once you think about it. I don't really think about it until I start thinking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
That's amazing. And then in your personal life, how were you impacted by COVID? Where during the lockdown was a few weeks. How were you impacted, and how have you come out of that and transitioned to now?
COVID, I worked so much I wasn't even aware of it. I think last year I started to burn out from going so hard and really starting to deal with, all right, now I can sit down and really just compartmentalize and really deal with that, all the grunt of putting everything on my shoulders. So yeah, I wasn't too much affected by COVID. I actually really liked it. For the simple fact of it was a collective conscience. I feel we were all tired, faking, putting on a facade. So it was cool to see, the baggy sweatpants and just people speaking more of the truth or how they feel. Like, I really don't feel like going. My mental health is actually shit right now. And us all being able to share that, and I think that did wonders for us, because now I feel like we're in a more authentic space and less politically correct space. I think Trump helped with that as well, and us all talking about that. But I feel like we can be more real with each other now, and this recession reminds me of that, and I feel like it's going to be the same thing. So a return to the Garden of Eden, I feel.
Yeah. Did you learn anything from your own experience that impacted your personal life or others?
Yeah, a year before Revamp, I was selling about a pound of weed a day. A week, I'm sorry, not a day. But making pretty good money. And one of the first things I told the police, and one of the first things, they made me train a police recruit class, 2 of them, and they would make sure I told them that, make sure I told the kids that as well, just for authenticity and how you can come from that to that. So, yeah, I would have never thought I would have been talking to the same people I was trying to hide from, run from. And it definitely gave me a confidence that I was looking for. I've always been pretty confident, but all of us deal with self-doubt.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in your head or listen to someone who doesn't even do what you've done, hasn't done what you've done, so you shouldn't listen to them, but it's proximity. So, if you're around bullshit, it's physics. So, all the things we talked about, just doing all the things that I've done and was able to do through God, because it wasn't me, I was just a vessel. That gave me so much confidence that I didn't have, and I don't think I would have gotten if I wouldn't have done that. It makes me think now, okay, the worst economy in America, point at that time in COVID, and everything's messed up, police, everything is shit. Created a business with so many different verticals and industries, homeless, police, jail, youth, different projects, and starting to work with the senators and things of that. Oh, I can come from this. Woman who raised me said she found me in the corner raising myself dirty in a bed. She took me to Lansing, raised me with her kids. And we moved to Charlotte. I always felt like a black sheep. Got expelled for behavioral issues. Always acted out. At 4, I used to like punch passes in the balls, throw my backpack on the roof. Mom would have to come to school every day. Worst kid. And run away. Went through a hippie phase, doing every type of drug, getting in all the crime, living in shelter, having to re-find God, in jail, because they got a cart that come around with a few books. Jack Reacher, that's how I found out about it. Jack Reacher. It was Killing Floor. That was the book. I love that book. Never seen the movie, Jack Reacher or anything, but Killing Floor by Lee Child. I was like, oh, I like this Jack Reacher guy. It reminds me of me. And the Bible. I was raised in the church. My mother was a church secretary, but I never really read the Bible. Mm-hmm. So I just started flipping through and Proverbs. A fool heeds to his own advice, a wise man seeks counsel. And at that time, I wasn't seeking counsel. I was listening to my own advice. So that really popped me up. I'm like, all right, what else is in here? Started reading, got out, started working with MSU. It was like a missionary house, frat house they turned to a missionary house. So go there, study the word with them every day. Started working for the state of Michigan. Started writing for Nice Kicks. Youth soccer coach, campaign treasurer. All on felony probation in the same year, a few months. And so like, man, really showed me what I could do coming from that to that. Revamp was a great reminder of that. So whenever I get down, even last year, when I stopped and was in college full-time, thinking I can do all that plus 5 full-time college classes. For the first time, I'd never been to college before that. Mm-hmm. So much, too much. But once I dropped everything, and just went in, just turned my phone off and just thought. There was times that I did get down a lot. And the things that we talked about today reminded me, there's no way you could give up. I mean, look at the lives you affected, and there's so much more to do. So don't ever think that you can't, because you've already proven that you can so many times over. So,
what do you think changed for you that inspired you? What have you identified was a change? Was it one thing that changed for you, or was it various things that impacted you, that helped you change?
Change, like me as a person?
Life, yeah, you as a person.
I think a big catalyst was my birth mother.
Okay.
In high school, I still find it crazy that kids find out what they want to do when they're like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wasn't that kid. I would do everything, but I wanted my first job that I want to do was skateboard. I want to be a professional skateboarder.
Okay.
Or was it design shoes? Both of them, because I was into those at the same time. I mean, my birth mother don't have a great relationship. I only lived with her for like a few years.
Okay.
But I remember telling her, this first time I ever told anybody what I wanted to do. Yeah, I think I wanted to work for Airport, design shoes. You can never do that. Mm-hmm. Why would you say that? You'll never be able to do that. Focus on building computers. Do this. That really pissed me off. It made me go hard. So I always had a chip from that and her, just other conversations. But that specifically, because I never shared what I wanted to do and I was shut down, that really pushed me to go hard. But that anger got me in trouble. It wasn't channeled properly. Yeah. But it gave me that push. So really all the bull, just how I grew up, being orphaned, bouncing around from family to family, 9 schools by 10th grade. Or was it 10 schools by 9th grade? Yeah. Just how I grew up and that conversation. But luckily, God always places people in your life to be there for you. Ian, my mentor, my stepfather, they exposed Sam, rest in peace. Yeah, different people like that exposed me and showed me that change was able. And made me multifaceted. Because I could have just been a nigga on the block like my best friend. If me and him was just chilling together, if I never left to Michigan, I would have ended up like him, about 70 arrests. Still locked up now because we was whatever you want to do, I'm with.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I wasn't exposed to others by way of having mentors, which is mentorship is so important for Black and brown people. Yeah, it would have been over. So definitely my stepfather, definitely Sam, definitely Ian, teach me kindness, consistency, which they got way better than me. And best way to spell love is Time. They spent time with me.
So true.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how important relationship and mentoring can do. It can change your life. Before we started talking, we did an activity together called the hand map.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything from your hand map that you would like to share? Anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, just my values. Like, actually, I just want to big up some people.
Yeah.
He told me to write who helped during COVID. I put God, T.D. Jakes, Stephen Furtick, and Pastor Theo. Pastor Theo is a Charlotte pastor, and he is also a CMPD chaplain as well. But one of the most amazing people. But yeah, just having that faith through COVID and getting back in the church, that helped a lot. As far as mentors, LeBron Evans, Bruce Edwards, two first police officers I ever met. Good seeing Black police officers because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with tribalism. We all want to hang around people that look like us, talk like us, do the same. Nothing wrong with that. It's only racism that's the thing. But I feel like we're all tribal. So yeah, just seeing, that's a big thing. Seeing someone that looks like you in different positions other than you. Saying, oh, we can be an architect. No, we can be a stock investor. Okay. Renee Johnson for helping us get together. Chief Jennings and Sheriff McFadden as well for putting their arms around me and supporting me. Tamika Mallory, Reform, Jay-Z, Meek, their whole team. EJ over everybody because she actually did the interview and she reached out. So EJ, shout out to you. Joyce Waddell, Senator Waddell, for just giving me an opportunity and always sending me emails, even though I never emailed back. Yeah, definitely just supporting and putting me in rooms that a lot of us don't get to be in, especially someone that looks like me, with a background like me. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of us can be on the center floor. And luckily, she gave me those opportunities to do that inauguration. Pruthu, my boy, partner at Revamp. Kayla, old partner at Revamp. Sahana and her parents. We got a 15-year-old, I think she's 16 now. She's been working with us. She thought I would donate with her dad to Tent City. He was like, hey, what can I do and help? So sign the volunteer hours, yeah. But now she's like our secret best weapon. And her parents are mad dope, mad cool, mad supportive. And they actually helped me get back into Revamp when I was just really done with helping and wanted to help myself more. So shout out to them. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you for sharing.
And thank you as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to follow up with one last question.
Okay.
Is, do you have any additional stories or experiences that you wanted to share?
I have so many stories, man, but COVID, so.
That's okay.
I don't think
It's
so.
okay. This is great.
You watch when I leave, I'm at like 50. But I got stories for days. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna take it all up. But I think I spoke on everything
Yeah.
that I wanted to speak on. Yeah. Definitely just excited because Charlotte has a budding culture now. A lot of people are moving here. It's becoming Little Atlanta. And so it's a lot of people, I heard yesterday, hey, Charlotte, it has no culture. It's boring here. Well, that just means you get to influence the culture to be and to come. So that's more fun. Why don't you create the culture instead of fucking complain about it? That's what I'm excited to do now. Create the culture with like-minded individuals. And anybody that's on the side of good. A lot of people in Revamp hate the cops. I would be the only one showing up to the meetings, all that. Get them with the first cop. Oh my God, I love them, yada, yada. Just exposure. You know, it's just helping change the narrative, man. I don't care what you look like. As long as you, for good, let's work. Like, that's it. And it's a return to the Garden of Eden. How we should have been before we fell out of God's ear, or whatever you want to believe in. But yeah, it's a return back to love. So I think all these recessions, everything is for the better good. So only brings us closer.
Come on, Leslie, speak it.
Come on now. Come on now.
Thank you so much, Leslie, again for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me.